What you gotta say?
What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of What You Gotta Say. I'm your boy DJ Woo Beats.
Man, I wish I had a cool intro, but I'm your boy Juwan.
Hey man, yeah. We guess what? We gonna have our little bed and everything. It's gonna be all good. Our bed music, our theme song, all that. So we all good. But anyway, today we got a very special guest in the building. Give it up. Start clapping right now. We gonna put the claps in there and everything, man. Give it up for Twannie in the building, man. We got Twannie in the building. What's going on?
I'm blessed, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Happy to be in the building. Happy to be alive.
Yes.
Likewise.
So we gonna dive right into the questions, man. So how did it all get started for you? And let the people know, how are you in the community, what you do,
where you from,
and stuff like that. And how did it all get started for you?
I was born and raised right here in Saginaw. I was educated by the public school system.
What school?
Saginaw High.
Oh yeah, okay.
Class of 1990.
Yeah.
But I went to
Shout out to the Lumberjacks though.
Ricker, Bridgeport schools, Buena Vista schools, but I graduated from Saginaw High School, class of 1990.
All the schools.
All the schools. So
Except for
the Lumberjack. Hey.
give you an inclination, I wouldn't say I had a troubled childhood, but I got my action in. You know what I'm saying? I got my action in.
You was at the high.
Absolutely, yeah. I got into some trouble as soon as I graduated. Unfortunately, that led me to prison. I spent 5 years in a joint for distributing crack cocaine. I got out and I met a mentor by the name of Mr. John Pugh. And I also met another mentor, Mr. Willie Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Willie Thompson was a school advocate.
Yeah.
He worked in higher education and also public education.
Okay.
Time. He was there when I went to school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Willie Thompson. That turned my life around. I remember Mr. Pugh told me one day that education is the best prevention. If I had the same outlook on education that I did now, it would have been a deterrence from prison. Went to college. I got my associates from Delta. I got my bachelor's from Saginaw Valley.
Nice.
I went on to Wayne State University and got my master's in social work.
Let's go.
And just this last May, they called me Dr. Twannie
Doctor.
We gotta redo that. Dr. Twannie. And it's funny. He didn't even say nothing. He was just, I'm gonna let them slide. No, because that's a crazy feat to work. Because what is it? 8 years of schooling you did after?
Nope. It took me 3 years to do it.
Okay.
I went and got my DSW, a doctoral in social work.
Okay.
It's a practitioner's degree.
Man, congratulations, man.
Thank
I know you. That's
thank you.
got to be a huge feat because when you look at the statistics in Saginaw, only 11% have bachelor's degrees.
Yeah. Worldwide, it's less than 2% with doctoral degrees.
See,
Yeah.
That's why I say that's a huge feat, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, you an inspiration, man.
Absolutely.
Because I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree right now, so just to hear you say that, I'm like,
Keep going.
keep going.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said that the quote about education being a big prevention. Why do you say that though? What?
Well, I think there is a such thing called the school to prison pipeline, right? And it's especially impact Black boys. A lot of us end up in prison.
Yep.
A lot of us end up
One
not
in every
graduated as well. Most of the people in prison don't have a high school education.
Yep.
Right. So that's why I say education is the biggest prevention. You know, if those folks had education, I'm quite sure they would have had different opportunities.
Yes.
Right. There's nothing like feeling hopeless, feeling like you don't have no value in this world. And a lot of us turn to crime to get the things that we need, basic human needs, housing, shelter, food, things of that nature. So
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right in there. So Thompson and what was his last name?
John Pugh.
Pugh. They was the reason why you wanted to do the whole doctoring thing.
Absolutely. They was models. You know,
Okay.
I actually seen Black men in certain positions impacting their community, giving back to their community. Salute to them.
Yeah.
You know, so there was a role model. Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And then so what's your job title in right now today?
I'm an owner Solutions Behavioral Health. I'm a
Okay.
practitioner. I'm a therapist. I constantly see folks for mental health reasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the top 3 things that we see people for at Solutions will be depression, anxiety, and relationship issues.
Okay.
I'm a advocate in the community. My thing right now is reducing or eliminating gun violence. I develop a curriculum for the incarcerated for systems impacted people called the Gray Effect, getting real about yourself. It's a mindfulness, emotional intelligence through a trauma-informed care lens curriculum. I think that a lot of people that's incarcerated don't get the necessary therapeutic intervention. And we don't really think about how that population impact safety in the community, so to speak. When you really look at the data and when you really look at the research, most people who commit homicide or murder have priors.
Yep.
Have priors. So that tells us that they've been incarcerated once before. But once before, they negated not receiving the adequate therapeutic intervention to try to reduce that poor decision making when they get out. So
Yeah. And now, what's some of the challenges that you have came either on your journey or in the business that you're in now? Like, what's some of the challenges?
I think some of the challenges is that you can't save everybody. You see a lot of people with a lot of potential, but when somebody tell you that they have potential, it's not really a compliment. I mean, I think in the 3rd or 4th grade, we learn about different energies. Kinetic energy is always moving, so to speak. Potential is what? Potential energy is what?
I can't remember that one.
It just sits there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It don't move. So when someone say that you have potential, they really trying to tell you that you have a lot of unused energy that you're not using. But just losing clients.
I ain't never thought about it like that before.
Yeah. Just losing clients, losing people I have worked with to the streets, seeing families go through just a horrific change in life, losing a loved one, losing a son, losing a daughter. I think it will wear on the best of us, so to speak. I have heard some of the most horrific stories ever, you know?
I bet.
Yeah. So I got to be in spaces where I just don't take that home and, you know.
Yeah.
I say that's got to be hard because it's funny because a lot of people don't think about therapists. Like you go to, even when I had to go meet with a therapist, like you take all your problems to them.
Yeah.
But who do they take their problems to?
Absolutely.
So this is like, after all the stuff you hear, you at one point you're impacted. Your mental health is kind of at stake. How do you stay, I guess, mentally strong to help your clients? Because
it took me a while to learn self-care.
Okay.
I think a lot of therapists, a lot of social workers give themselves way too much.
Yep.
But I have learned self-care through my clients, so to speak. I got to a point at one time that I had to really sit back and reflect as to what my job is actually is, so to speak, with a client. It's never my job to tell someone what to do, right? It's always my job to get them to look at things differently. And that's a huge difference.
So you tap into their more critical thinking, their more critical self.
Absolutely. If you come to me for therapy and you tell me your problem, guess who have the answer?
You do.
You do.
You just don't sit there and look for it.
Right. And if you were in a therapy room right now and you was coming to save me, who would be the expert in the room?
Far as saving, well, you can only save yourself, right?
Right. You're the expert. So I never ever see myself as the expert in a room with a client because we're talking about their thoughts, their feelings, their situations, their moments, and things of that nature. My job is just to be a guide, be a vessel, you know?
So you more like ask discovery questions to help them discover who they are, essentially.
Absolutely.
In the process of self-identification. Because I think a lot of times now we're in a society where people are having an identity crisis because we're in I guess, an era where we're being told what to believe, what to think, and how we should move, where a lot of people, I call it like the death of critical thinking right now. It's like the independent mind is at stake because we have so much distractions.
Yeah.
So we always rely on other people to give us information. And we don't actually sit back and say, man, should I actually believe everything that's told to me? Or do I question it? And I feel like when you question stuff,
it,
when you question it, that's when wisdom starts to think. That's when critical thinking starts to happen. That's when change starts to, affect.
a little bit.
Oh, my bad. And that's when change starts to go into effect. So I like that. And that's when you said the therapy, you just sit there and you pretty much guide them. Yeah.
Be a vessel.
Be a vessel. And I think that's a big issue.
I got a question pertaining to the therapy. So when I know it's times where you be thinking about like, well, who are the people around you to your client? And is it like I'm trying to see how I can word it, like, or ask the question, but like people around them, I'm pretty sure it's 9 times out of 10 for me. This is just my opinion. I feel like they don't be having the right people around them when they in the space that they in. Like, what could you say to people like, who in that space or don't have the right people around them?
Find a new social network.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that it matters. It matters a lot about the people who's around you. The people around you influence your direction in life. It impacts your decisions and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? If I hang around people that shoplift and I don't shoplift, eventually on that 7th trip to the store, guess what I'm going to be doing? Shoplifting, right? Yeah. But we got to keep in mind that it's very important to understand that we all on this journey, so to speak, and we're going to meet people, we're going to have relationships with people and things of that nature. And it's best to step back and always ask yourself, is this person or this friend right for me? And sometimes our refusal skills need to kick in, right? One of the hardest words to say in the English vocabulary is what?
No.
A lot of us don't know how to say no.
Too, which is crazy.
And a lot of us don't know how to say no. Yeah. So I always urge my clients, say no sometimes. You don't have to get in the car when somebody pull up sometimes. Every party you don't have to go to, say no sometimes, No is very powerful in a sense. It'll keep you alive as well.
Yeah. Protecting that energy, man.
Yeah.
How do you protect your energy?
Just that, being around people like-minded, so to speak. But let me rephrase that, like-minded. I like to be around people that challenge my thinking as well, right? As long as they positive, as long as I can sense that their intentions are pure, I'm all right with you. You know what I'm saying? We can disagree.
100%.
I can hang around with people that we disagree with, but the moment you become disagreeable, that's when I got to part ways.
Yep.
Deuces, chuck the deuce.
Like disagreeable and what
actions.
Okay,
yelling, cursing. Want to fight. We can disagree, but we don't have to be disagreeable.
Like having a healthy debate about something.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
You got. I've been asking so many. I got more, but I don't want to just hog up there.
Mad questions.
Okay. Oh, I'm good. Go ahead. So far as like, because I definitely think that it's important for therapy for especially black man. No disrespect to no other race or nothing like that, but black man, because we deal with a lot. I know that women deal with a lot too, but like men deal with a lot. So like, what would be like that opening door for black man to? What would you say to the black man that want to do therapy or go to therapy, but really kind of discouraged either because of people who they're around or
because like in our culture, I feel like for a black man to do it, it's kind of like frowned upon. Like, Like they look at us like, hey, you can't handle it yourself. We so used to like trying to handle our stuff
therapy.
But you see how a lot of us crash out on social media because we never actually,
Well, I'll be the first one to say that a lot of us black men are broken. I'm broken still, right?
Yep.
And as far as going to therapy, I see more women than men. Right,
really?
I see more women
I can believe
come to therapy, right, and talk about a man who refuses to come to therapy, right?
So you're not even getting to the root cause,
right? We have this stigma in our culture about going to therapy and things of that nature, and I tell people this all the time. I don't see crazy people. I see people just like me and you, all right? Yep. I think everybody wake up, put their pants on one certain kind of way. Yep. I never met no one that went to a phone booth and changed clothes, right? Ain't no Superman.
So I was gonna say Superman, only one.
Only one. Yep. So, and we are faced as black men. We are faced with a lot of trauma, especially growing up the way we did sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Losing loved ones, losing friends. Think about this for a moment. It's a known fact that an 18-year-old black male will have lost 4 friends in his lifetime.
Yep.
Before he's 20 years old, 4 friends that he know, not associates, right?
Yeah.
People. Well, let me pull that back. I'm sorry about saying associates, but people that he went to school with, or people from the neighborhood, they would know personally.
Yep, 'cause I could think of 4 right off the bat.
Right.
That's crazy because I thought about 4 quick.
That's trauma.
Quick, yeah.
That's trauma, you know. And we are exposed to so much trauma when we're growing up. The shootings, the violence in our neighborhoods, and things of that nature. So I always encourage Black men to go get help. And it also will help your relationship with your significant other and things of that nature.
I think it helped just every family members, everything.
Family members, your job,
Yeah.
and things of that nature. So you have to be mindful. I think the first law of nature is self-awareness. Know thyself. You have to be aware of self, right?
Yep.
So when there are some areas in your life that you're lacking, there's no need to be shame about getting some help. The number one intervention that I provide in therapy is ventilation, meaning that most people just come to therapy just to vent in a non-judgment zone. A lot of us can't go home and vent to a person, to a loved one, because you'll be judged, right? Yep. So ventilation is the number one intervention that I provide. Safe place, brave space, right? Where you can just vent and talk about some things and receive some constructive feedback.
Some people even you don't want to. You get discouraged about talking at home too, because the person who you're talking to, they could have good intentions, but you really just want them to listen, and they trying to fix it for you, like,
and then they tell you their problems at the same time. I'm like, hold on,
like, wait a minute.
And you know why people listen? The number one reason why people listen
to
is
respond.
To wait until you stop talking so they can talk.
Yeah.
They don't. They waiting for a pause. They waiting for a silence so they can interject what they need to say. Yep. So therapy does have its benefits. Mental health, taking care of your mental health has its benefits. Like taking care of your body and things of that nature has its benefit. Take care of your mind. I always encourage people. Springtime is a difficult time for a lot of folks. Winter is most definitely a tough time for folks.
Yeah.
We see a lot of walking depression cases around that time. People
what's
walk.
that?
Yeah, what's walking depression?
People look normal, act normal, go to work, but inside they're depressed. They tore up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They look good on the outside, but inside they wrestling with their what's that rap word all them young artists be saying now? Demons.
No, I was going to say, that's all I can think about with demons.
They wrestling with them demons and all that stuff. So walking depression, they functionable, but on the inside, there's a lot going on. And guess what? Stress will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Stress impact every organ that you have, from your skin to your heart to your kidneys. Everything. Stress will kill you. Yeah, absolutely.
How could we gonna get on stress then? How could one prevent from stressing so much, like far as things that they can control? Because some of the stress you can't control, I feel like.
I would say
well, that's a DBT exercise. I tell people that
DBT.
Dialectical behavioral therapy, or an approach that I use working with people that wrestle with a lot of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
I want you to make a T column in your mind and list the things. On one side, I want you to list the things that you can control. And on the other side, list the things that you cannot control. Yes. And what you're going to find out is that the things that you cannot control, that list is way longer than the things that you can control. Yep. You really can't control anything in front of your nose. Yep. And you can do a 360 or 180 turn around. You can't control that. But from your nose back, you have influence over that, right? You might can control that, right? Yeah. But anything in front of your nose, you can't not control. I can't control you, and you're in front of my nose. You can't control me. I'm in front of your nose. Yeah. So that's a way to look at things. That's how you can deal with stress. Also, exercise is the number one thing, right? That helps reduce the stress, right? Yeah. You said something earlier that's very powerful about being around the people, being around positive people.
I think
that's huge. That's huge because you're around some people that's not doing what they need to do. That can rub off on you easily. So eating right, sleep is huge though.
Oh yeah,
sleep is right up there with exercise. I will put sleep above exercise.
I was gonna say I'd put sleep above. Yeah, I read a whole book about sleep, and it's crazy.
That's interesting.
That your body actually flushes out.
How many hours of sleep do you all think?
Minimum.
8 to 10 hours of sleep for your body to shut down, do all its processes, and wake up rejuvenated.
Yeah.
Some of us go to bed for 4-6 hours and jump up. We might feel rejuvenated, but we're really not.
I think that's me. I swear, because I be feeling like, I say this all the time. You can ask my family. I be like, man, all I need is like 4 or 5 hours. And I'm good. I'm good. Listen, when the family reunion in Atlanta, I drove 12 hours off of like 3-4 hours of sleep. But I woke up cool. Yeah. But when I went to bed that night.
So physically you was functioning, but cognitively you may have been declined. You may not know that.
Right, and I have done it. We all have done it. We all stay up scrolling on Facebook. Yeah, we have done it. But sleep, when you really research sleep, sleep is like up there, right with appetite. I mean, what you're eating, your diet, and also exercise. Yeah. Absolutely.
So you put sleep over exercise.
And diet, absolutely.
Yeah,
sleep
for sure.
Diet.
When you sleep, you fast.
Diet wise,
you dieting, but also when you sleep too. This book I was reading, it talked about how your cerebral fluid, you it flushes and it kind of clears you out. But you got to be in basically like REM sleep.
Cerebral fluid.
Yeah.
What's that?
You ever heard of REM, rapid eye movement?
Oh, okay, okay.
You got to be at that level of like sleep where your body's like out, and that's how it resets.
You dropping some gems on us, but you gotta.
Oh my bad, I keep moving away.
In sleep. I mean, I have trouble sleeping. I don't have a trouble getting to sleep. I have trouble staying asleep.
I had the same.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm changing my lifestyle now. I'm in the gym. I'm with Lorenzo Reynolds, the boxing guru.
Yeah.
And I'm eating differently now, and I can feel the effects within 2 weeks now.
That's what I was going to touch bases on. Far as dieting, like what's some of the things like
sugar is the death of us, man. Yep. Sugar is the death of us as Americans. Well, as the population, the world's population. Sugar. You got to limit sugar. You have to limit sugar. And eat more naturally. Eat more raw as well, you know.
Raw meat?
Not raw meat, like raw vegetables.
Okay.
I'm not eating no raw meat.
Yeah, like hold on now.
I get my steaks
medium
done.
well or something. That's
medium well or well done. No rare, nothing in that. In that
and you say 2 weeks and you've been feeling it?
Feel the difference. I feel the difference in my sleep. I feel the difference in my energy level and things of that nature. Absolutely.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because I have been one of them people who have neglected me because I have been giving myself to everybody else. Family, the business, and things of that nature. One of the most wrong messages that they sent entrepreneurs: grind all night, stay up all night, team no sleep. You see it all on.
I sleep when I die. Well, you gonna die soon. You don't go sleep.
That's definitely a thing. Dang, you know what? Black people praise the wrong stuff. Like it's all backwards.
Good.
It's all backwards.
Good.
Yeah. But get in the bed and go to sleep.
Get your butt in the bed.
I was gonna cuss, but I mean,
eat good.
Yeah, that's crazy. We praising the wrong stuff. I'm sitting here just thinking like, man, all them phrases growing up, and even to this day, it's like, what you mean, team no sleep?
So do you work with a lot of kids or mostly adults?
We work with everyone.
Everybody. Okay.
I have personally worked with everyone: children, adolescents, individuals, couples, and families.
Okay.
Yeah. I prefer family work because you have a whole unit in the room, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's hard to see a child for 45 minutes
without the parents
individually, and they come back every week. And we really don't have that other perspective and things of that nature. But I'll always encourage my families to bring everyone who live in a house into therapy, at least to the
so you like
room.
group sessions?
Well, family therapy, absolutely.
Family therapy,
I feel like that's okay. I feel like, honestly, family therapy is probably one of the most impactful things you could do, even just as a community-wise, because my personal belief is like, if we want to change how black men or young black men are moving and operating, we got to change it in the household. And the person that they're going to see, admire the most is going to be the father. Yeah. So I feel like if you can't get the father in line, like how you going to bring the whole household? Because he's supposed to be the head of the household. And if he's not,
I agree. But anybody in a household, I don't care if it's a grandma, grandfather, or uncle, anyone that live under the same roof with their child, because a lot of families identify the child as the identified patient, like they're the reason. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the reason.
The scapegoat.
The scapegoat. Like they're the reason that everything is happening. But a lot of kids come because they have some undiagnosed trauma, some trauma that been swept underneath the rug and things of that nature. You said something earlier about generational curses and things of that nature. Family keeps secrets. They don't talk about them. So there's a lot that can be impactful to that child at that time. But we say, since he's getting bad grades, or acting up in school, let's put him in therapy. And like therapy is going to be the cure-all, but it's not. I think family work would be the start of looking at that system a little bit differently, so we can find some ways to reduce the symptoms in which they came for.
Yeah, I don't really. Do y'all think that the kids these days will really be up for that though?
I don't think they wouldn't have a choice if the parents take them.
I think that if you give somebody the time and space, they would talk. And that goes for anyone, children, adults, and things of that nature. Sometimes we just don't give people the space and time, to talk. Now, when I reflect back over my career, when I look at the most resistant type of client, it would be a child, because a child got to know that they can trust you, first of all. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to build rapport. You know what I'm saying? And that goes into the conversation of the stigma of mental health issues, right? Culturally competent therapists. It's not a lot of black male therapists out here in our region, so to speak. So access to qualified therapists, that's a barrier. Transportation sometimes is a barrier. It's a lot of things that strengthens that stigma, so to speak, and stop people from reaching out and getting help. But we're out here. It's enough of us out here to make an impact. We got Dr. Melvin McDowell, we got Dr. Asigi Mersha, we got myself. So it's a lot of us out here. Yeah, absolutely.
That's just in the
Saginaw area? Not a lot, but a few of us.
In the Saginaw area?
Is that just Saginaw? Okay.
That's the Saginaw area.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And what's some advice that you can give to someone like us who in that space where we trying to evolve with the community and stuff like that? What's some advice that you can give to us?
Be passionate about what you do. Sometimes your passion might comes across as aggression and a little bit of crazy, but as long as you stay passionate for your cause, stay passionate. Sometimes it's so easy to get deterred. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of folks that start off with good hearts, but when resources come in, they change their heart. You know what I'm saying? It goes straight to their wallet or something like that, right? Stay committed. You know what I'm saying? I think the best thing that we could do is leave a mark for the next generation. I'm raising 2 black kings, man, 2 black boys, man.
How old are they now?
18 and 15.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yep.
And that's how I cope with everything I go through. When I go home and I have my baby girl there, my wife is there. That's my peace. That's my sanctuary, if that's the appropriate word. But that's how I cope. But I also noticed that I'm raising 2 black boys. And typically, black fathers have a tendency to raise black boys through fear.
Yes.
Right? Instead of love.
Yep.
And I have learned that over the years. I'm so proud of them. I hang out with them. I hang out with their friends. Yep. And I try and talk to their friends and interact with their friends like they're my own, even if they have fathers. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that we all need to do to give back. You know what I'm saying? Start treating other children other than your own like they're yours.
That's how it was back in the day. I don't know where. I don't know what happened, but back in the day, that's how it was. Though, you were the fathers that was in their kids' life. They'd be definitely treating you no different from how they treat their kid and stuff like that.
So check it out. So the other night we stayed up until 4 a.m. just kicking it. Yeah. My 18-year-old and about 3 of his friends. Team no sleep.
Just sitting there, just talking.
Just sitting outside, just talking. And we talked about everything, man. And I think they trust me.
Yeah,
And, we
they
talked
had
about,
to if y'all was talking that for it. Yeah,
we
that's
talked
cool.
about a lot. Yeah.
See, I always love situations like that. Like when me and my boys would just be sitting there and then they'll ask me a question and then we just go off into like hour too long just conversate. I'm like, my one son, he was just sitting there, he was on his iPad and he was asking questions about Jesus and stuff like that. And I'm like, because he was sitting there watching it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, what are you watching? He's like, oh, something about Jesus being resurrected and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, snap. And keep in mind, I haven't like pushed religion on them super heavy. They obviously know I'm, believe in the Lord and all that and Savior and read the Bible and stuff like that. But I try to let them formulate their own opinions instead of me just telling them and what they naturally gravitate to. I obviously help them and give them resources. But we were just talking and it's just crazy, the questions that they have. And I'm just glad that, one, I was able to answer them. And if I didn't answer them, I was like, you know what, let's do some research. And we kind of just,
Right. And they will always remember that guide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ask kids all the time, I give them two options. Would you rather get dropped off in a UP in the forest with no resources, no tools, right?
What's a UP?
That's option A, right? And I give them option B. Or will you rather get dropped off in the forest with a backpack and a guide that have a compass, have a can opener, have some canned foods, right? And say, get back home. And most people choose B, right? Yeah. And that's what parenting is. You're a guide. You know what I'm saying? You just got to lead them in the right direction. But you have to step back sometimes and let them formulate their own opinion. And that's parenting with love.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Typically, we parent with fear. You know?
Why do you think that is? Because I feel like with the black community, that's a huge thing where...
Generational.
Like, for one, I've always taught like, oh, if he acting up, you should just beat him. And I got to the point, people are like, man, you don't beat your kid. I don't beat my kids. And what's crazy is I don't have any school issues with my kids. When my kids get in trouble, they know. You're going to sit down and read a book and give me a report. And if it's not right, you got to go back and do it again. Or we do military, you got to hold the paper out, stuff like that. But I feel like putting hands on the kids creates trauma.
Right.
Because like when I was a kid, I got hit with a flashlight and stuff like that. That's trauma.
Ironing boards.
Ironing boards. I'm like, so why would I want to pass that on to him?
Breaking generation.
I'm like, and I would tell when it was happening, I'm like, this is just old slave master behavior that we keep passing down, but we just.
I think it's twofold. I think that the fear thing come in. Most murderers are perpetrated by, most murders of black boys is perpetrated by another black boy.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a fear with that. Who are you hanging around with? What party are you going to? And things of that nature. And then we still live in America where the wrong cop can pull a good kid over, any kid for that matter, right? Yeah. And it can go left at any moment, right? So my biggest fear, I don't want my boys to end up in any institution outside of an academic institution.
Yes.
Right. That's my biggest fear in life. So I talk with them, and that's the premise of all of my conversations, right? Because that's my biggest fear. Yeah. So
because they say 1 in every 2 black men get arrested, and
1 out of 4.
1 out of 4.
That's
1 out of 4.
Yeah, it's 1 out of 4.
And then they said, we're only black people make up 13% of the USA, but we do 50% of the homicides.
Man, you listening to Charlie Kirk or whatever his name is.
That's not even from that.
He's not too far off. I don't know per se, but I think I will put another adjective in front of that in that data far as when it comes to black boys getting killed. Yeah. We are the perpetrators of that. Yeah.
50% and
more than 50%, I would say.
Yeah, it's probably more than 50%.
That we're the perpetrators of all black. Yeah, I mean, I hate to use the word black on black crime. I just hate it. And I don't discuss black on black crime when I discuss police brutality. Those are two separate topics.
Way different.
When police brutality come up to the forefront, then naysayers always want to talk about, well, what about black on black crime? They're killing each other and things of that nature. But you got to understand something. Violence is we know the roots to gun violence.
Yep.
We know the roots to gun violence. And it's just not, you got to look at the tenets of gun violence. You got to look at the poverty. You got to look at the environment, the neighborhoods. You got to look at structural racism, policies. Think about this. Some schools have 0 policies that if you make a mistake one time, you're done. You got to get out of here.
Yep.
One mistake, you're done. Zero policy.
My kids in one
and
of
we're
those
talking
schools.
about our audience, our participants, our children, right? But you do something, a certain behavior, a school can kick you out forever.
Yeah.
Zero policies. Other places, other institutions that have those type of rules are prisons.
Yep.
Right? So that's why that pipeline of school to prison exists. Look at the metal detectors in certain high schools and things of that nature, right? Some schools look like a prison. Some schools don't even open up windows.
Say Arthur Hills had
You know what I'm saying? So think about it, So it's all messed up in a sense.
Now that I'm thinking about it, when they first put the metal detectors in the schools, Saginaw High and Arthur Hill was one of the first schools to. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was there when they actually put the one in
Yeah,
Arthur
that's
Hill,
why I'm- yeah.
because we had so many shootings in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It was.
So how can we separate the two? How do we get the schools not look or act or have a feel to prison? And a lot of us end up in prison.
Yeah.
Do they sit back and think that does these little things that we're doing over here contribute to the bigger picture? Absolutely.
Yeah. I never looked at it like that.
Absolutely.
It's like it's preparing you for being institutionalized. Well, I've always felt like school, in a sense, kind of prepares you to, listen or be told what to do instead of think independently. In my
Oh, you talk about like how it's
how it's
formula for
structured.
school. How it's structured.
I call it. I always tell my kids, I'm like, school is where you go to build a foundation to learn, but I'm like, your critical thinking comes after. I'm like, and that's why they get mad at me because I make them read books, and they be like, oh, nobody else reading it. And then it's funny because last year my he was a first grader, got the #1 reader award in his class.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I wonder why that was. Why are
But
you
see,
the best reader?
you that guide in his
Yeah.
life, and you just showing him the right direction.
Yeah,
and things
and
of that nature. Yeah,
It's
That's
crazy.
what's up.
that's cool.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's important,
And
man.
some people will disagree with me with some of the comments that I made, but
That's a beautiful thing.
I
of
look
the
at
First
it
Amendment.
from 20 years of experience working with families.
People, as far as disagreeing with you, people like other fathers or
Other people,
Just
other
people in general.
and people in general.
yeah. Because I was gonna say like other fathers I can see because some fathers just they what's the word I'm looking for when they just used to a certain they done been in prison, they got their mind or
institutionalized?
that word institutionalized.
institutionalized.
So they just like no, don't listen to him and this is what you got to do and them tough. I call them.
And it's crazy because some fathers who are from the streets prepare the kids to be in the streets.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They're
I'm
the
not
only
raising
ones that
no
I feel like
thugs.
that's the only.
I was proud to say that. When
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
my first boy was born. I said to myself, I'm not raising no gangster. I'm not raising no thug.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I would do that.
No.
Yeah, my son, he didn't turn it around because he was definitely with those. I ain't gonna say those, but like the kids who you could tell like the father.
Yeah.
Man, I used to be coming to the games and coaching and stuff. Man, them daddies was not there, and it was just so crazy. And so I took him and I brung him with me to where I'm at now, and A's and B's, the teachers love him. He going crazy now. And like he ready for basketball again, and it's just like, man, it's the environment.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things prevent fathers not being in
See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What destroyed the black household?
I think
In
I
the
think
1950s, the black household.
I wouldn't know no
I'm
about the
just saying, though,
1950s.
I was doing some research trying to figure out because I was trying to get to the root cause of that. Like, what happened to the black household? Like, why have we separated? Because we used to be tight, like, as a community. But then somewhere, I want to say around World War II, I felt like we kind of ventured off.
Well, this would be based on my years of experience. The destruction of the American family came from drugs. Drugs destroyed the concept of family. I mean, when you go back to World War
I was gonna say
think about World War II.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
I mean,
World War
morphine
II.
came about. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those soldiers returned back to their families, not really focused on family. What was they focused on? Drugs, getting high, and things of that nature. And now you can follow that all the way up to the 1970s.
What movie was that?
I was gonna blame it on the welfare system.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say the 70s. What movie when they came back? It was like the 70s.
Dead
What movie?
Presidents?
Dead Presidents.
Dead Presidents.
Yeah, that was a good example.
Presidents. Yep.
But drugs, and think about the late 80s and the 90s, the crack cocaine,
Ronald Reagan era.
and things of that nature. But drugs, and when I sit back and I think about a lot of my family stories, it's always something about drugs.
That's true.
That would play a key in it.
And it's
Whether
always
it's alcoholism.
yeah. The grandparents, like I listen to my grandparents and stuff like that, or older people, and they'd be like, yeah, well, before the alcohol or before the drugs, he was a good man and he was a family man and all that. But so I can definitely see where you
and drugs put a lot of black men in prison.
For sure.
When you look at the 1984 substance abuse laws, think about this for a moment. If you was in 1985, 86, right? If you would have got caught with 500 grams of powder cocaine, the sentence limitation on that was 5 years. If you would have got caught with 5 grams of crack cocaine, your sentence limitation was 5 years as well. But when you think about 500 grams of pure cocaine versus 5 grams of crack, who is more likely to have crack? 5 grams of crack.
Right.
Black men.
It's black men.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the plug. They was not black, right? More than likely they were white bodied men. Right? So you got to think that 5 grams of crack rule sent a lot of people. You know how much 5 grams of crack was back then? Less than what, $150. And a lot of those charges sent a lot of men, black men, to prison for 10, 15, 20 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Disproportionate sentencing. So when you say black men being absent, I will always put it on drugs. So yes.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I think this generation of black fathers absence got something to do with social media too, though, because like the women is like they going off of what Cardi B and all of them, you know, they trying to live like them, you know what I'm saying? And perfect example, Cardi B, she ain't even fully married yet, but pregnant by somebody else, and it's like this is what y'all like. Absolutely, this y'all idol, this y'all role model.
But I don't want to minimize your point about like the welfare issue that you brought up. Structural racism have kept black fathers out of the homes. Things underneath that umbrella. But when you go to social media, I think that social media is one trick pony though for you, right? Well, the biggest trick pony it is, right? Because social media can hypnotize you, right? Social media can cause you major levels of depression because once you open up this app, you see everybody. Social media is everybody's highlight reel. You don't see their bad days.
That's true.
You don't see what they go through.
Especially on Instagram,
right? It's all their highlight reels. And if in that moment in your life, if you don't got it, that makes you what?
Less
depressed.
Depressed, right? Or you might get on there and see a lot of BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man.
Still make you depressed. So we have to be mindful and monitor our access, the time spent on social media and things of that nature. But moments ago, I said that I see more women, right, than men in therapy, right?
Right.
Women is 70 times more likely to go to therapy.
What? 70 times?
I can believe it.
70 times more likely
I can believe it.
to go to therapy. There's 70% more women, also 70% more women in therapy over men. You know why is that?
Why is it?
Think about it.
70% more.
I already gave you the answer in a sense. They are more likely to go to therapy. So when we look at the data and say, you know, a lot of black women go to therapy, wow, they crazy. You know what I'm saying? They more crazier than men. That's not the case. They just willing to go to therapy. Black men just don't come to therapy, right? They just don't come to therapy.
And that's crazy, man. I mean, so I guess you saying like that's kind of my opinion on the social media thing is like all wrong.
No, I didn't say that. Did I?
No.
I'm trying to understand it. Then, like, so what you far as so you think social media is more of a bad thing on the man?
On everyone.
That's on everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it contributes to everybody.
Okay.
Issues.
Okay.
I think it contributes to relationship problems.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's number
again,
one.
I think it shows everybody highlight reel. I think that They become markers. When you see a couple on social media, they become a marker for your relationship. Oh, you should do this, or you should buy me this. And
So I guess I was just trying to see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you was because you followed up with it's 70%, 70% of women gonna go before man. So I thought that's why I was saying it, because I'm thinking like, okay, well he's probably saying like more if women is not they willing to fix the problem more than a man is, or whatever the case may be. So that's why I just said that.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in relationships, being a relationship counselor, I think I have seen more women trying to fix or maintain or sustain a relationship more than the man. More than the man, yeah.
Dang.
I mean, let me tell y'all something about relationships. If y'all don't mind, we can
Go
talk
ahead,
a little bit.
yeah. You good.
You good.
I tell to people, and I do the Gray Effect in the Saginaw County Jail, and we talk about a lot of topics, and we talk about a lot of topics that lead them into incarceration and things of that nature.
Real quick, the Gray Effect.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I see that on the hat. Getting real about yourself, y'all. If y'all don't know what the Gray Effect is, that's getting real about yourself.
Yeah.
You can continue. I just had to let them know.
And we talk about a lot of things that led them into that space, so to speak. And we have identified 3 common patterns: self-discipline, a lack of self-discipline,
A lack of self-discipline.
lack of moderation, right?
Yeah.
And relationships, right? Saginaw County is notorious for domestic violence, right?
I can believe
Over the last 3 years, or 3 to 5 years, we have seen over 4,000 domestic violence cases.
That's crazy.
Right, that's crazy. That's a crazy number, especially for
too much going upside their head.
Yeah, especially for a city like this.
Yeah, because our population is what? 50,000?
Less than 50,000. I would.
Wait, Saginaw?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah,
It's not
that's
that.
it.
It's not as big as
No, that's crazy. I thought it was like 70.
Well,
So we talk about a lot, right? It's about 50 though.
Yeah,
So
that's
we talk
crazy.
a lot. And one of the things I tell men is that, women are possessive, right? And men are territorial, meaning this. A woman will stay with you, right? Even though she don't want to be with you, don't like you anymore.
she don't want you with nobody else.
But she don't want you with nobody else.
That's true.
Right? And men is territorial, meaning that we'll go out, roam the land, do everything that we want to do. But as soon as we get wind that she's talking to somebody else, guess what
we
happens?
tender.
Yeah, we tender.
Yeah, real
We're going
tender.
to come back. Or we going to jump back in her inbox or give her a call to see if we still have that type of influence over her and things of that nature. But I tell people this, at the end of the day, possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's facts.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. But relationships are we say as therapists, we say we do relationship counseling, but we don't really do relationship counseling. I tell people when they finally get in my chair this, there's no such thing as relationship counseling. That's what I need for y'all to do. And I'm not playing semantics here, all right, word games. It's 2 people working on themselves at the same time produces a good relationship.
That's
So think about
exactly
that
what
for a
that
moment.
is.
Think
That's
about some
exactly
past
what it is.
relationships when you was working and that other person wasn't working, or when she was working and you wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about on yourself, emotionally, and things of that nature, mentally.
Yeah.
So
So
2
what's-
people have to sign up
At the
and
same
say,
time.
I'm going to work on myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I start taking deep reflection about myself, the way I act, the way I behave, and the outcome would be treating you better, and you do the same thing, y'all will have a good relationship, guaranteed.
I was going to ask, what's the biggest, I guess, thing with relationships you see, the biggest issue, the most common issue that you see between couples?
Lack of communication. I think every therapist in America would say that.
Yeah.
People just don't know how to argue anymore either, right?
Because they both want to be right.
They want to be right. And then I would say communication and forgiveness.
See, that's what I was going to say. I was
I ain't
like,
gonna lie, y'all.
Because there's a level of forgiveness you have to do after each argument.
yeah.
Especially if you submit and see things another person's way. Right?
Social media too, man. I'm telling you, it's people on social media that be thinking that they be spot on with their relationship advice,
They do.
but be wrong.
And don't even be in a relationship, which be crazy to me.
And then you'll get, and then there go the girlfriend sending it to the guy, and then he like, You know what I'm saying? So it's
I totally
a lot,
agree with you.
man. Social media is crazy,
and
now,
that would
man.
fall under the umbrella of communication.
Yeah.
where we're receiving this thing at. I remember just a couple of weeks ago.
And knowing yourself too.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy that got married, and he was going through, and he's trying to save his marriage, and he was showing me pictures of his wedding, and he had like 10 groomsmen, and she had like 10 bridesmaids. And I asked him what was the purpose of all of these folks in his wedding, right? Do he know the purpose of these folks in your wedding? Those are your first counselors before you come to me.
Yeah. Right.
You're supposed to went to those folks. You know what I'm saying?
10 of them.
So you have to be mindful.
Still ended up here.
You got 20 for real.
Those are the people that's supposed to provide your first counseling when your marriage have some bumpy roads.
Yeah.
But it's doable. I mean, I still applauded him. He did still come out and participate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that. Hey, a lot of men ain't doing it, so congratulations to him for sure. But yeah, 10 groomsmen is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I know. I think I had 5, and I felt like that was a lot. But it's funny. I don't even, like you said, if I had an issue in the relationship, I ain't going to them. I don't know. So it kind of makes sense.
And that's why we need not this type of counseling. That's why we need to be more aware of traditions and what's the purpose of marriage and things of that nature. I also say this, when I see a lot of women, right, one of the questions I always pose to them, define man, define what you think a man is, you know what I'm saying? And once they define it, and then we start talking about the person that brought him to therapy, he don't even match that definition. He don't even match that definition.
Hello, so
right, and vice versa. I have ex-men the same thing.
Yeah.
Define what a woman is.
and then
the person that got you here talking to me about, right, they don't even match that definition. So we have to be mindful. That's why I say step 1 is self-awareness. You have to be aware of self. You got to know your limits. You got to know your barriers. You got to know everything about yourself outside of your favorite color and your favorite food.
Self-awareness.
So outside of therapy, how do you think people can become more self-aware? What's some things that they can do? I mean, obviously, therapy is one, but
faith and spiritual side.
Okay.
A belief into something. You got to believe
in something. Yep.
A belief in something, right? Reading, right? And ask yourself the hard questions. Ask yourself the tough questions. Yeah. Right?
Challenge the narrative.
Yeah, challenge the narrative sometimes. And don't lie to yourself. You never have to lie to yourself, right? Don't lie to yourself. No, you got to know when was your most hardest day ever. How old is you?
38.
38. You 38 years.
It's crazy.
If I asked you,
think about it.
What, and you don't have to respond, but what have been your most hardest day in your life, in your walk up to till this day? You know what I'm saying? How often do you think about that memory?
Ooh, yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit. So that's impacting you in one way or the other. Is it impacting some other behaviors in your relationship, in your spiritual world, or things of that nature? It's impacting you. If you're thinking about it a lot. Yeah. But on the flip side of that, if you're not thinking about it, right, are you trying to avoid it?
No. I think that's me.
That you trying to avoid it?
I avoid it as a building block.
I try to stay busy and forget about it or you know.
But it's gonna come out you though.
Yeah. Hopefully it comes out the right way.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
That's self-awareness. Knowing my limits, knowing my barriers, knowing what I've been through, and seeing myself at the finish line. Yeah. How is that gonna look? You can influence your life. You can influence your life in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
that's dope.
Let me ask you this, one of the last questions. You think we're in the age of social media has been coined as toxic masculinity? Do you think that's a thing that's happening now?
Yeah. You got to think that
curveball.
when you think about mankind in a sense, right?
Yep.
When you think about the travesties that happen in the existence of mankind, we think about slavery, we think about the Holocaust, and things of that nature, right? But one of the biggest travesties that we don't look at when it comes to mankind is this: when they told us not to cry. When they told men, when they told little boys not to cry.
Yeah.
Right?
I had to stop myself from telling my sons that boys don't cry.
Yeah. You got to be mindful of that. you got to think that if a 2-year-old fall down, scrape his knee, what's the first thing an uncle or a dad gonna say?
Stop crying.
Stop crying.
You all right?
Man, I used to have a cousin that punched me in the chest if I cried.
So now I want you to picture a gas hand inside of a car. Right? EF.
Yeah.
Right? And you see that needle going back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. So think about that as being a filling gauge, right? We just suppress half those emotions, right? We just told him to suppress half these emotions that he's allowed to feel. Most women can feel from E to F.
Yep.
Most men that I know, including myself, we go from E to a quarter of tank.
Right there.
And we stay in that zone.
And we stay in that zone.
No, you're right.
And then when we do go on full, it's all you go from quarter to full. Ain't no
Right. And it's just not
that's true. I never thought about it like
telling
that.
boys just not to cry because of the tears, but it's about giving them space and opportunity to feel what rejection feels like. Feel what excitement feels like.
Because in reality, I feel like I feel I'm tenderoni woo. I say it all the time. So why am I?
We got to stop
stopping
putting
that?
the negative connotations.
Oh
on
no,
it,
no.
though.
It ain't. See, I embrace it though. That's why I say it a lot because I embrace it now. But it's like growing up though, it's like everybody around me like you can't be soft in this area, this space that I'm in. You can't be soft. So it's like, man,
that's what I was like that as well, man.
Yeah.
You can't be soft. But guess what? When I leave this
soft
world,
as ever though. I was soft.
when I leave this world, if my boys go to therapy for any reason at all, they will not say that I didn't show them love or I didn't show them affection.
Yeah.
They would not get that out of it. The therapist would not get that out of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because we're in this conundrum almost, right? We tell them not to cry, right? 2, 3 years old.
Yep.
Then they go to programs like Head Start, right? And Head Start teach them social emotional skills. Hey, friend. Hi, friend.
Yeah.
Can I sit at the table with my friends? Pass the peanut butter, friends. Yeah. All right. And then
Pass
after
the
that,
peanut butter, friends.
then after that, I think most schools have banned peanut butter because not allergies, though, right?
Yep.
Pass the jelly. I'm sorry. But and then they go into K through 12 school, right? And social emotional activities begin to drop in the K through 12.
Yep.
Academics begin to rise,
Yep.
right? So what happens in the 3rd grade? They introduce structured sports to us. Right? Organized sports, school sports.
And that's when my son started having his problems.
Now they introduce that to us. And we really is not socially, emotionally developed yet.
Yep.
We only got 1 year of it. That's in Head Start.
That's crazy. That's when he
Right.
started having his
So
problems.
now I'm going to start competing with my peer, my classmate, right? And if I make the team, they're going to take me across town and compete with the other school. So it's a vicious cycle almost, right?
Yeah.
When we talk about the suppression of boys and their emotions, we have to develop more healthy spaces. And I'm not saying give everybody a trophy when they start playing. I'm not one of those type of them folks because rejection is also a feeling. Losing is also a feeling that everybody needs to experience.
It's a good experience. It's an experience of growth.
We was just watching the interview with Mike Epps, and he was saying how like rejection, you won't appreciate the good things that's in front of you if you haven't had rejection. You would just, you know what I'm saying, it'd just be, you won't appreciate it. You won't take it for granted if you go through those losses and stuff like that. If it came easy,
there's no
you ain't no value in it or nothing.
No
you just
that's why people pay $1 sometimes because it's hard to get.
rejection, failure, all of that play a part.
We just have to be mindful and monitor them, give them spaces to share or experience all types of emotions, man. And that's what I do, man. I always go to my children and say, hey, what's going on? Is there anything you want to talk about?
Well, that's good.
Or like if a situation happened, I always follow up about that situation. And I always ask them, what is the one question that nobody asked you during that time? I ask that to a lot of men in the jail when they talk about certain incidents. I always ask them, what's the one question that nobody didn't ask you? You know, you'll find the response is unbelievable. You know, I remember that some guys say, did I want a hug? You know, did I ever want a hug? you know, a situation happened with the family and everybody was hugging the sisters and things of that nature. And he remembered just standing up there and everybody was catering to everyone.
To everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that one question that nobody asked you during that time?
Dang.
Shoot, did I want a hug?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dang. So follow up, process, follow up some more, and change. I don't think parents owe kids apologies or things of that nature, but we can explain stuff to them.
Yep.
Yeah, we can explain stuff to them so they can have a well-rounded outlook on the world as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. My main thing with the kids is I want them to be able to adjust in any type of situation, any environment in the world, anything. Like, so that's my main thing that I be trying to teach them.
Yeah.
But you got any more questions?
No.
Man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show for sure. For sure. I think I needed this one. I definitely needed this one.
Fantastic.
Sure.
We What You Gotta Say podcast and Women of Colors, and we're just glad you came out, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been a huge supporter of Women of Colors. Big fan of yours. You know that. Nice to meet you, man.
For sure. I'm definitely gonna be tapping in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just hope that y'all invite me back, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. You always welcome back.
Cause I got some bars too, man. If y'all can lay up some beats down. I always wanted to get in the studio, you know.
I was gonna say, you got the setup, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Well, I'm just glad you blessed us with your presence
real quick.
I know you a busy man, so I was just like, you know what, we can get him in there because they was like, who you want to talk to? I was like, if we get Dr. Twannie in here, and I was like, oh, that'd be amazing because I've been wanting to talk to you for the longest. So I'm like,
absolutely.
What better space, man? Than you know.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it, man. Y'all got a real good space, man.
Yeah,
I wish y'all all the best, man. All the success. All you gotta do is keep going.
That's it.
Two words. Keep going.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, keep going.
That's what people always ask me when they be like, hey, man, how can I look like you? I'm like, you got to stay at it.
You got to stay at it.
I'm like, and if you fall off, just get back on.
Yeah. They want to look like you?
I've had some, man, come on. That's how you do it. But no, you're right. Consistency is key. And, you know, just got to have that hunger to just keep driving.
Yeah. And since you mentioned the word success, let me end with this.
Yeah.
All right. I ask people, would you believe me if I showed you how far is success? I can tell you what success is. I don't care what motivational speaker you listen to across this land. They always going to define success as two things: hard work and consistency. Right?
Yep.
But what if somebody showed you success? Right? You more likely will believe it, right?
Yeah.
If I show you how far it is, would you believe me?
How far success is?
Yeah.
How would you know though?
I just know I'm the guru, bro. I just know how far it is. Right? And I do this, I speak, and I'm just not a therapist, man. I go to schools and I talk to third graders all the way up to seniors, right? I go into the prisons, not just local county jail. I go up to the prisons and I talk to people, especially about mental health, right? Yeah. But that word always come up, that's success. But if I showed you how far it is, would
you talk about like metaphorically? Or like
it's tangible.
I mean, of course.
I can show you how far it is. All right, take your right index finger.
My right index finger.
Yeah, put it on your right temple.
I'll grab my right hand. All right, put it on my temple.
Right temple. Take your left one, do the same. Now, you got a big head, but it's about 6 inches apart, man. Yeah. Success is 6 inches apart. You get it?
I was going to ask him, how's he
that's why
how's he know the measurement?
Success is 6 inches apart. If you get that right, you accomplish anything.
Nah,
so real. As long as you can get it right in your head.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
You visualize it up there and you can put it into action out here.
Yeah. See, that's what I always tell people, because a lot of people have a problem with success, and I think the biggest problem they have is the application of their vision.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people visualize things, but most people don't apply them. They just be like, man, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And they don't keep going.
And you know, speaking of that, Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
He didn't visualize Tesla. Tesla was like a thing he heard of.
Oh yeah, I think
he put in an application. Somebody else visualized Tesla. Same thing. How Elon got all his money? Like he colluded with PayPal. He got his money from PayPal. Like it was originally called X or something like that, and it wasn't even his company. He just got in on it.
Yeah,
but, and that's success in everything you do, though. Not just financially, but your relationships, your school, and things of that nature. I mean, every day for the pursuit of my doctoral degree, I woke up every morning wanting to quit. my wife can be
Oh,
a
I
witness
bet.
to that. I'm quitting today, babe.
You was just like,
I'm quitting. This ain't it.
working.
This ain't it.
But now that you got
But
it,
I kept going.
You talking about this ain't it.
yeah.
But I kept going. No matter how many times I said I wanted to quit, I always
Yep.
follow it up with a trained thought, with an intentional thought. Keep going.
That's
2
me in
words.
school right now.
Yeah.
That-
Well, keep going, bro. Tell you that.
Keep going.
yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely
Validate
go.
that you want to quit.
I definitely
Validate
go.
it.
And that's another thing
keep
too,
going.
because the discipline. People ask like, "Hey man, how do I get in shape?" I'm like, 9 times out of 10, I don't want to go to the gym, but I do it. That's discipline.
Keep going.
And like you do things you don't want to do. That's the whole point of discipline.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Because this would talk you out of it.
100%.
Oh yeah,
It'll
always,
talk you out of it.
always, man.
That's how far
Always.
success is. You master that, you be
Yeah.
all right. Again,
I'm gonna
brothers,
use that.
man,
That's
it's been a
stolen.
pleasure.
I hope
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't patent that.
Yeah, it's my upcoming book.
I'll say it's out there now. Kids gonna be like walking around like this.
Hey, you know what's so
On the
cool about
shirt.
it though?
Yeah.
I said that with one of the local basketball teams a couple of years ago,
Really?
and they was doing that within the game in their district playoff run.
Oh, that's
They was doing.
They
it
was
was
walking
dope.
around going
Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
dope.
that's
school?
sick.
I can't say.
Oh, okay,
I don't wanna
okay,
wreck. But y'all mentioned it earlier though.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Yeah, that's easy enough. Easy enough.
All right, man. It's been a pleasure,
been a
man.
pleasure.
Appreciate you,
Thank you.
Twannie. Gotta have you back in the cut.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Oh, what's